Hey, what's up, guys? Houston here. Look, when you're trying to find the right bad credit card, okay, to help you rebuild your credit, you have to understand you have three categories, okay? And so what I mean by that, you have your department store cards, you have your secured cards, as well as your unsecured cards, all right? Now, the thing about it, in terms of when you come into your secured cards and your unsecured cards, you would have three options, okay? And so that would be your banks, your credit unions, as well as your fintech. All right. Now, I'm going to break this down so that you understand the value of each. Okay. And I'm going to show you some of the best cards that you should take a look at. All right. When you're trying to rebuild your credit. So here's the thing about it. Let's look at department store cards. Now, when we look at department store cards, we may be looking at, most people are familiar with Macy's. They're looking for a shopping cart, Dillard's, or something like that, right? Well, place you get clothes and things of that nature, right? However, here's the thing about it. With those type of department store cards, they don't have no real value. And you need to find department store cards that actually going to have real value. And what I mean by real value is that you can actually turn it into money. All right. Now, the top department store cards you want to look at when you have bad credit and you want to turn it into money, that would be the Home Depot department store card. All right. And this is how you play it. Let's just say you get approved for $1,000 from Home Depot. Okay, and you need to raise at least a couple $100 to pay a car note or pay a utility bill or something like that. What you do, you go to Home Depot and you're going to buy a couple toiletries for the household. Then you can grab a couple Visa or MasterCard gift cards. All right, and use those. You can put them over into your Cash App, over into your PayPal, or just pay your bills with it right then and there. All right. So that's what I mean about the value of a store department card. All right. So that's the first one. Now, let's talk about in terms of the second one, which is the secured cards. Now, when you're looking for a secured card, when you have bad credit, some people are like, well, I don't want to put the money up or whatever. Relax. I'm telling you. All right. Here's what you want to do. You want to first make sure you find secured cards that you actually going to convert between 6 to 7 months, meaning that you don't have to wait a whole year before it becomes unsecured. Okay. And so most people, they know about the Navy Federal Secured Rewards card. Now, here's the thing about it is that usually you put down $250. Then after you use it, on-time payments, keeping the utilization down, then it will turn into an unsecured card, right? So it'll go from $2,000 on up. Now, here's the thing about it. Most people also are aware that if you have a high internal score with Navy Federal with a 580 credit score, you will also get a unsecured card. All right, because they look at the relationship. So even if you have a 580 credit score, making sure that the internal score is high, and the internal score going from 100 up to 450. So that means that if you have direct deposit, if you have the flagship checking account. Now, if you don't have the flagship checking account, just make sure that you have at least 20 transactions per month. That makes up for the flagship checking account. Okay, having a secured card, having a pledge loan, okay, then having the smart certificate, which is about $50, okay, that's going to help you with your internal score. Again, also looking at the relationship, and that may influence them to actually give you an unsecured card, okay. Now, here's the thing about it. Again, that's turns into a regular unsecured. So if they don't give you that unsecured right away because you have multiple products with them, which should push your internal score up over that 350 mark, okay? If they don't give you a unsecured card right then and there, utilizing the secured card and making sure by the time your statement date, I would tell you to keep your payment down for at least 10% by the time your statement date, okay? if you're not able to pay it off at least 10%. All right. Now, one thing is going to help with increasing the credit score. All right. So that's the reason why for that. Now, you also have Discover. So Discover has a secured card. After 6 or 7 months, it will become unsecured as well. All right. So that's one as well. Then you also have, the other card that you also have, man, sorry guys, I got a brain freeze. TD Bank. Okay. So here's the thing about it with TD Bank. Their secured card after 6 or 7 months becomes unsecured. All right. So those are the cards that you want to take a look at. All right. When it comes to the secured cards going unsecured. So that's the third. Now, in reference to your unsecured card, you have a smorgasbord of unsecured cards. But let me go back and talk about the secured cards, because a lot of people say, well, where am I going to get the money from? Well, again, when you looking for money to put on a secured card, then you want to go to places that do not do a hard pull on the credit for a loan. All right. So you have Big Buck Loans that offers up to $5,000. Interest rate is 5.99 up to 35.99. You have Low Credit Finance. They offer loans up to $50,000. Interest rate is 5.99 up to 35.99. You know, so you want to look at places like that that's not going to do a hard pull on your personal credit. All right. Now, one thing about it, I would tell you, especially with any type of credit card, the address is one of the biggest things that matter, especially when you have bad credit, because sometimes people move around a lot. All right. And so moving around a lot tells them that you had some financial hardship. So what happens is, let's just say that you had lived in apartment A and then you moved to apartment B. Well, with the third-party financial credit bureaus, they still have apartment B. So they haven't had enough time to put in apartment A. So when you put apartment A on the application and you apply for these cards, because the address is not matching up, this may cause a denial. All right. So that's the reason why I always tell people, whenever you're going to go for a credit card or a loan, make sure you pull your real credit report so you can see exactly what address is on there. Okay. And then you can go with Clarity, which is owned by Experian. Also checking LexisNexis. It's very important. Make sure they have an updated address for you as well. All right. So just giving you some insight. Now, talking about some of these here cards that you definitely should take a look at. Now, you have the Black card. OK, it's a bad credit card, starts at about $1,000. All right. Then you have Zabel. Now, the interesting thing about the Zabel card is not in all 50 states with the Zabel card. That's one thing you have to keep in mind. So when you go to the website, ZABLE, when you go to the website, when you go to Zabel's website, all right, you need to make sure that they actually offer cards in your state, because they're not in all 50 states. All right. So that being said, their limits go up to $1,500. Now, just keep in mind, you have bad credit and they're giving you unsecured cards. So I would not anticipate getting a lot of money from these here institutions. All right. Because you're starting over. Now, the good thing about the Zabel card is no annual fee. Plus, they also offer loans up to $35,000. All right. Plus, they also, if you get approved, they will give you a virtual credit card so you can use right away. All right. So that's the thing about it with some of these here cards. They may even give you a virtual card. Then, of course, people hear me talk about the Patel Rise card. So the Patel Rise card is like when you have real bad credit and they give you an unsecured card, but they charge you an annual fee. But the Patel One card itself, it's a bad credit card. So if you don't get that Patel One, you get the Patel Rise. Now the difference going anywhere from $300 up to $3,500 with the Patel Rise, and the Patel One goes from $500 up to $5,000. All right. So that's the thing about it. And that's a fintech company. All right. So that's another thing keeping in mind. Then you have Mission Lane. Many people are familiar with the Mission Lane. You have to excuse me, guys, because it is hot, but the wind outside, and I know I want to make sure that you hear everything that I'm saying. All right. So you have the Mission Lane. Then you also, if you have deposits and stuff, you can sign up for the extra debit card. All right. Now, it only reports to 2 credit bureaus. However, it gives you $1,500. Excuse me. The minimum I've seen, or I would say the maximum I've seen, is $1,500. Okay. Because they go off of transactions. All right. So to clarify that, now your credit.ai, it starts you out at $1,500 with bad credit. All right. And both of those, they actually link your checking account. Okay. And so by them linking your checking account, they're looking at what's going on with the checking account, long as you active deposits and things of that nature as well. Oh, by the way, I know some of you guys, again, trying to find loans and stuff like that, especially like if you're an entrepreneur, you don't have to have a business bank account in order to get those loans. So you can also go to Giggle Finance that offer loans up to $5,000 as well. As long as you have 3 to 4 deposits monthly in your account, then you may qualify for up to $5,000. Okay, because they don't look at the personal credit. All right. So that's something that I wanted to throw in there. Now, that being said, you have the Avant card. The Avant card starts at $300. All right. Now, you also have Amazon. Amazon is also a good card that you can actually take a look at and see will they approve you. Then you have the Capital One Quicksilver card. That's also an option for you as well. All right. Now, here's the thing about it. You have some more fintech companies, like you have Prosper. They start at $300. You have Scene MasterCard. The Scene MasterCard starts at $300. Then you have the Bright card. Now the Bright card, it's actually from what is that company? Everybody goes to this company when they have bad credit. I'll think of it in a minute. So please bear with me. But also Chase. Now with Chase, they want you to have at least a 600 credit score. That's for the Chase Rise. Now here's the thing about it with the Chase Rise, even with a 600 credit score, they want you to have a relationship with them, with their banking account, for at least 6 months. All right, before you get that card. All right. Now, again, going back to credit unions, there are some credit unions that you should take a look at. All right, other than the Navy Federal that will work with you with a 600 credit score. All right, so you have Kimba Bank Financial Credit Union. Then you have First South Financial Credit Union that gives you unsecured credit cards. Okay, with a 600 credit score. All right, so that's the thing about it. It's not a challenge with finding credit cards, but making sure that you stack your file. Now, again, another thing about it, putting a whole lot of open revolving accounts on your file and you don't have any loans on the file is going to make your file look lopsided, meaning that you need to have some kind of loan on there, like a secured loan, like a pledge loan or something like that. That helps balance out the file. All right. But that's the way that you play the game to start rebuilding. And again, I would not apply for like 5 or 6 of these cards and stuff. Again, helping to rebuild the credit, because also by you adding these here accounts on that changes your credit file aging as well. And so by changing your credit file aging, you need to make sure that you have an older credit file, especially if you're going to try to go for loans in the future. So most of the lenders, they want you to have at least a 2-year credit file with at least 2 accounts on the credit file. So when it comes to the aging, you can add authorized users, the right type of authorized users. users that would actually pick up the history to make the file older. You can add rental history payments. That's also not only going to boost up the credit score, the authorized user will boost up the credit score as well, but the rental payments will help you also qualify for a mortgage also. All right. And then even your utilities. That's the reason I tell people, if you sign up with Identity IQ, then with Identity IQ, they would actually help you adding the utilities on and stuff. That would also help aid your file as well. All right. So I hope this video helps you. If you have any questions about business credit funding, personal credit funding, removing negative items off the credit, click the link in the description. Schedule a one-on-one consultation. Thank you.